The United States is between a rock and a hard place now because of this war that we were dragged into by the Israelis. Because now we're in a situation where Iran is threatening to bomb all oil infrastructure in the Persian Gulf if it is attacked by Israel and its own infrastructure is attacked, which just recently happened. So there's a tweet here I want to read for you guys because I read it and I thought it summed it up perfectly. And then I'm going to show you a video during a speech that Pete Hegseth gave today. So the United States and Israel, the United States just told Israel to stop hitting Iran's oil and energy infrastructure. That is true. That did happen. And I'll also show you a video. This is the first time that Washington has restrained Israeli action since the war began. Well, I wouldn't call it restrained. I think that's a really strong word because they're not restraining anything, but we'll go along with it. Why now? Iran's parliament speaker declared an eye for an eye infrastructure war an hour ago. Every refinery Israel destroys in Iran is justification for Iran to hit one in Saudi Arabia, the UAE, or Kuwait. That's interesting. Washington also cited post-war cooperation with Iran's oil sector. Read that carefully. They're already thinking about after the war. Can't cooperate with an oil sector you let Israel destroy. Got it? This isn't about peace. This is about protecting global energy supply from an infrastructure war that spirals out of control. And he explained it very well, because this is exactly Iran's plan right now, and it seems like it's working out really well for the Iranians. It's actually pretty smart from a wartime perspective how to go about it. People, what you do is that when Israel attacks your oil infrastructure, the one thing that keeps the world flowing is oil. And the United States needs to make sure that the oil supply is stable, the supply chain is stable. So Iran's like, all right, Israel's going to hit me. I'm just going to go for any oil refinery, anywhere around me. And I'm just going to go ahead and bomb that. And now Washington is starting to realize, wait, this is actually really, really bad for us, because Iran is actually willing to take the whole world down with it when it comes to the oil supply chain. So Pete Hegseth was directly asked about this today during a press conference. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Can you guys let me know in the comments if you see this video here, because it's been kind of funky with me all day today. I have it sped up a little bit, and he's getting asked about why Israel decided to just bomb Iran's oil depot. So take a listen here and let's talk So take a listen here and let's talk about it.
Citing U.S. and Israeli sources that the U.S. was not happy with strikes on 30 fuel depots in Iran. While this is anonymous sourcing, it seems kind of congruent with what President Trump said yesterday, that there's certain spots they don't want to hit relating to energy infrastructure that would take a long time to rebuild. And whether this reporting is true or not, what's your message to Americans, those who supported the president and those who aren't really in favor of this war and who worry that Israel might be taking advantage of the U.S.'s backing? And then for Mr. Chairman, for you, I wanted to ask.
Thanks for the comments, by the way, guys.
What capabilities does Iran have to shoot down jets in operation?
Well, I would just state by saying Israel's been a really strong partner in this effort. Where they have different objectives, they've pursued them. Ultimately, we've stayed focused on ours. But what Iran has felt is the power of the world's two most powerful air forces. In that particular case, those weren't our strikes or that objective, or that wasn't necessarily our objective. But the president has made it clear to those concerns that we're not getting pulled in any direction. We're leading. The president is leading. He's determined.
The president is leading. I mean, so that's the best way he can say it. And that it wasn't our strikes. It wasn't our objective. Israel decided to do that because they are manic. They're too short-sighted. They just want to bomb the whole planet, apparently, clearly. And now here's another situation where this happens. And thanks for the comments, guys, saying yes, I appreciate it. Now we're in a situation where this happened, and the United States is trying to figure out what to do to contain the rabid dog known as Israel, because, again, they don't care. They'll do whatever they want. And now we're in this situation where the United States is trying to figure out how to now lower the chaos. And the Iranians made a statement saying, actually, they don't want to have a ceasefire. They don't want to negotiate. Steve Witkoff tried to reach out to the Iranians to have a negotiation. They said, no, we have no interest in negotiating. That's why the German foreign minister also gave a press conference today with an Israeli official. His name's slipping my mind. And he also said, with Gideon Saar, and he also said, well, the Iranians don't want to actually negotiate and come to the table, as if they weren't cornered into this position now. And the last time they negotiated, their entire government got bombed. So geopolitically, it just makes sense that now they have some sort of leverage. They are trying to see how far it can go. This never needed to happen, by the way, never needed to happen because we should have never been here. We should have never been involved. Why are we here? We shouldn't have been here. So Pete Hegseth now, see, this is the thing. This is why I tell you guys that I know they're not deluded. I know they know. They know what the Americans are thinking. We all know. Because ultimately, what we know is that Israel dragged us in. They have to try to save face and really try to reassure the Americans, no, the Israelis didn't drag us in. For those who don't know, Pete Hegseth specifically, he's a staunch evangelical Christian. I mean, he's been really interested in this war, particularly because he has an end of times ideology. That's a whole separate conversation. Pete Hegseth specifically there have been reports that he's experiencing unrestricted euphoria. I'm not kidding, unrestricted euphoria during this war because he thinks this war could have potentially ushered in the end times. I'm not kidding. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a separate report on that. I did previously already. So this is kind of what's going on right now. We have an evangelical Christian leading Department of War. We have the Trump administration, Trump being a puppet to Netanyahu, to Israel, blackmail, $250 million from Miriam Adelson, who knows what else. And it's hurting the United States. We're also getting reports now, and this also just happened today, and we saw the video. The video of it's been circulating online, that in South Korea, they had to dismantle the THAAD system for detecting missiles, and they're bringing it and they're repositioning it to the Middle East. The South Koreans were not happy with that, by the way, because almost half of U.S. THAAD systems are out of commission right now because of this war that, again, the United States never needed to be in. How did it benefit us? So far, I believe the estimated costs are about $10 billion. $10 billion for a war that, again, we never needed to be in. Not just $10 billion, though, because think about the other ramifications of this, how the Gulf Arab countries are feeling right now, the economy, the downturn on their economy. I mean, British Airways today made a statement that they have no plans to fly to Abu Dhabi for the foreseeable future. They didn't give a specific end date. They said they have no plans to fly to Abu Dhabi because it's too risky right now. So the UAE is freaking out. UAE officials, Emiratis, and the Gulf countries in general are stating, why were we dragged into this? Yesterday, Lindsey Graham goes manic and says that he wants the rest of the Gulf to get involved. They clearly recognize, no, this is not going to work out for us. And now the U.S. government is trying to save face for a war that the Israelis dragged us into. And again, we didn't need to be in any of this. It's one of those things where it just, you just kind of want to, just bang your head and be like, really, is our government totally, is this it? This is the best that our government can do? Totally blackmailed, occupied, and we all see it. We see that they're acting in a way that's not beneficial for our own interests. That's what drives me wild. We know that this isn't beneficial, but we're being dragged into it. And if only one of them had the courage to just speak out about it. When I about maybe even more than 2 weeks ago now, I interviewed Carrie Pergine Bowler. She was the lady on the Religious Liberty Commission. I think she just actually had an interview with Tucker Carlson today. I'm not sure if it aired yet, though. But anyways, one thing I really took out of that interview when I was talking to her is I asked her, when she was telling me when she got booted off the Religious Liberty Commission because she is a Catholic that's against Zionism. I asked her about, she said that she got a lot of text messages within the Trump administration telling her how proud they are of her and they wish that they could speak up, but they don't have the courage to speak up. But they're so proud and they're rooting for her from the sidelines. And she said that she was disgusted, or she didn't say disgusted. She said that, she didn't like that she was hearing that from them because of the fact that they're supporting her behind the scenes, but when she needed people to speak up the most, they weren't speaking up. Now, how does it relate to this? Because we're seeing all of this happen. I am almost certain that there are people in the Trump administration right now that know that we're occupied, we're being swayed in a way we shouldn't be swayed. They know it. The Pentagon, people within the administration, I'm certain of it. And none of them want to speak out because they know that they're going to get reprimanded, they're going to get fired. They're going to get chewed out by Trump, so they're deciding not to. And I think that's what's most disgusting. That there are people that know, I know they know, we know they know, but they're lying straight through their teeth because they're too scared to speak out. I think that that is a worse person. I think that that is a more morally corrupt person than the person that genuinely believes in this manic stuff. Pete Hegseth, I think he genuinely believes in it. He genuinely believes in his religious ideology. He genuinely believes this is right. It seems like to me Pete Hegseth genuinely believes in it. There are others in the administration that might just be going along with it and actually don't believe in it. Personally, I think JD Vance actually doesn't believe in any of this BS because I could tell he's on X. I see the way he's interacting. He's interacted with conservative, more America First accounts before. So I could tell, but he's going along with it, and you could tell a lot of the time he's just lying through his teeth. And I think that there's actually more moral depravity in that. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. If you found it interesting, I'd appreciate it if you just click the subscribe button below and give it a thumbs up as well. The best way to support my channel, by the way, to do this as a full-time job is super gifts and chats. Really do help me out. So I'd appreciate that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and have a great day. Bye.